All right, let's check the audio. We got audio. It's a bit. I think it's okay. Let me get some video. So, 3 weeks ago, one of my accounts closed on just over 6R for the week. I was checking it in the weekend, and it felt nice. The following week, same account closed with 7R plus. That's an additional 7R, of course. And this current week, the same account is up 11R and some change. And this week is not done yet, but I think it was 2 years ago when I set the previous record for closing 8R in 1 week, and that was great. That felt really awesome. And I did that on the test / competition account from Darwinix, which was futures trading, yeah, that's a different story. Although I will say, I don't know why they gave me like a $1 million account to test out the strategy on, or that's very very odd. They're not really part of the prop space, but similar product. Okay, I think I'm a bit loud, so I'm gonna turn myself down a bit. All right, yeah. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna overnight. I got some notifications, specifically one on the pound. Oh, what's up with the sound? Okay, I think the sound is okay now. All right, I don't want to be too loud. That's just the thing, right? Okay, got the notification on the pound, so we're gonna look at the chart and then we're gonna draw some lines. And after we're done with that, I am going to look at some of the trades done this week. All right, so let's get into it. So I got the pound chart here. I got some lines on, but I'm just gonna start at weekly just to make sure everything looks nice. This looks, I mean, I think this is okay for now. I'm not awake. Okay, weekly, 1 day. Okay, we still got this. We sweep this, and power is still up on this, but we need the sweep. We got the sweep. There was a trade here that I didn't see because at that point in time I was at the meeting, and there was a long trade here. And so the lines for now are okay. And we didn't close lower, so I'm not moving this. And yeah, the sweep was here as well. I'm just gonna, this is a bit odd. Oh well, doesn't matter much right now. So 1 hour, and we're gonna check 4 hour. And yes, that's notification, because the 4 hour I decided is looking for shorts, and we hit the level, and we hit this level with this bar overnight, and now, right, yeah, that's the exception, right? Okay, because we are inside of we were here at price, right? And too many bars closed against us for a trade to be taken, right? The exception is if we scrape the high here. Some will say it's a liquidity sweep. It's a popular term these days. I don't really use it, but I guess it's a similar term. And so now that price has collected more energy above, I want to see I don't know what is it, this something. I guess that's what we want to see. Okay, let's remove that. So let's see, like this. And 4 hour I pair with M15. I've been recently looking at a lot of material from Arjo, and I think he puts 4 hour together with he basically steps 2 levels down, and perhaps it works. It absolutely works for him, but that's not my model, and it will take more exploration for me to find that out. But let's look at the 15 minutes. So these are the new lines. This is the 4 hour. Let's just make sure. Yeah, this is the 4 hour in the center here. And these are the new lines, and this is the power came up. So basically, if we close below here, we already touched below. There's an hour gap. If we close below, I'm gonna look for shorts, and I'm gonna look for next 4 hour level to target. And I guess that's I guess that's it. So the thing is with today, we're now at Wednesday today, I know, and today I decided I can collect some extra sleep, right? Because today in the afternoon for me, or at the start of US session, we got some news. I think we got double red folders, and basically at the open of US session we got news, and then another some 1 hour into the session another red news. And well, my data and my stats do not contain anything about news, but it stands to reason for me that if a lot of energy is coming into the market, I would wait until after this news is deployed, or energy or volume, to see what price is doing. So I decided I'm not gonna trade in the morning this day, but I think close beyond here, lower, and probably this here, and that is probably close beyond here. This is probably turned over because this is empty part of the same leg, and it's turned over. This one is used, so probably gonna be going for this. So probably if we close here, 1 for 2 down here, I'm guessing. Yeah, but I think for now, yeah, maybe I'll put it on some of my accounts. We're gonna put a notification there anyway. Let's go like this. M15 short. Yeah, and we're gonna time it out. We're gonna do what's the yes, we're gonna time it out at 11. That's enough. That is, this time aligns with when the yen market stops today, and US market would start here at 14.3. On FX Factory it starts at 1400, but I know the power is here. So okay, that's broken. All right, and that's it. We're gonna leave this here for now. We don't need the line. We don't need this line. We're gonna go back to 4 hour, and I'm gonna see, because the gap has to be encompassed, but the level is there, so I don't need to take that into consideration. So recently I've been underlining the fact that with the entries, right? I got, let's see what we have here. Oh yes, we got pending end of time. Yes, SL encompass the gap. So with this step E, it means that, for example, if I look on another trade, there was another trade I think 2 days ago, yen short here, and we can try to start new. We can try to find it. Yeah, my yen short hit TP. Awesome, by the way. Look at this. I think it was on 1 hour actually. And so, oh, that doesn't work. Right. So what do we have here? I decide price is short here because this was the leg. Here, 1 bar slightly closes beyond the power here. This is already consumed. This is the start. This is the top, and we switch. And this is where power should be. So I decided. Here we use this bar comes into the gap. That's the bar high. This is the bar low. But for the stop, I want to make sure I stop beyond the gap because the gap should hold. So let's do this. That's where the gap comes from after all, right? So now we have a level here. The stop should be here, and that's the low of the bar, just for reference. And the target is H4, right? So this is 23.03, yeah, and this is a trade that is entered during the next day on a pending. Yes, I think. Anyway, let's have one more bar. Oh. Yeah, I always push the wrong button there. Let's have one more. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go find it on M15. Right. Here. Where is it? Oh, another time. Maybe I'm completely off with the trade. Yeah. Maybe it was from the 1 hour. Actually, you know what? Maybe it was because this doesn't align with what I remember. I might have to go deeper into the logs to check. Yeah, the 1 hour. That's it. Exactly. Yeah, because this is, yeah. It's so early. Yeah. Right, so. Seven and then down and yeah, so here the 1 hour double top, we go down. This is the gap used, right? You see that this time is 7-8. I'm here awake, right? And I just hit this, right? Because we go into it. And so the trade is, notice price is falling down, right? And the logic is this, right? We come into the gap should hold. I take for granted. If it does hold or not, I don't know. But I'm taking for granted the gap should hold. And because of that, when we touch it with the bar here, this 1 bar goes into the gap. As soon as this bar touches the gap, I want to look for the shorts, right? So this is the high of the gap, okay? This is the high of the gap, and this is where we enter into the gap, okay? And let's look at the time, 06:29. Okay, so let's go to 06:29. Can we do that? Let's see. Let's go to. Just gonna give just a bit more time to be able to find it. We will go to 7. Here we are. And so price just came into it, right? Just for reference. So I already decided that this 1 hour is short, and 1 hour I will pair with 5 minutes. And so this bar goes into the gap. I get notification. And I don't need to wait for the bar to close. I could, but I don't need to because I got a notification for we're into the gap, right? So I switch to 5 minutes. Okay. There's the 1 hour gap. And now here is I need this pattern, right? I think this is the one. Okay, let's see what pattern it's drawing, because I don't remember. I stopped drinking coffee, and I don't really feel awake too much, but drinking a lot of tea got my, yeah, I feel a bit strange. But anyway, so we're inside of the gap here, and now we need to have some power down to enter on with the model B, right? We are inside of, let's just put them, oh yeah, there we go. There's the power, right? So we have here the action and with power. So last step of the entry model is we need a power bar, right? Or I'm not sure. I'm not too into the ICT stuff, but I think people call this displacement. I don't really know, because I learned about the bars and the structure from Nissan, and it's way before the popularity of the ICT SMC stuff. I think it's actually 10 years before, at least. To be, I'm trying to be modest, right? But yeah. Like in 20, maybe 13, 14 was a time where I was learning a lot of the into the bars. Anyway, so we have the formation here, like we go down and we switch direction here, or confirm in this case. And so this big bar is confirming that power is down. So entry model B would enter off this. And my point is, so this line now, it's the high of the gap. So I need to be there, or, well, above if we are on FX, right? And so we are going lower, and the 1 hour is going for next to 1 hour level. In this case, there's none, there's a 4 hour level. And this is the position. This trade, I think, if I remember correctly, was entered with model A, and that is the retracement. So if we look at the gap, model A in this case, I would look for something here to enter off, or aligning with this low here, or if I really don't like it, I would look for this kind of thick area to enter off. And I don't know how far it goes. Does it go up? Nah, it didn't. Okay, so probably was a model A entry, and there's another re-entry here. This is during the next day, and there's another 1 hour gap created. So if this is entered with model B, again, this is the high that created the low, because this is lower than this, right? And I could go like this and protect the high, but in reality, in order to align with power, what's part of my rules now is I need to cover the gap, which is seen here, 1 hour gap. And at that point in time, we had, yeah, so it's just hit there. We had that one gap there, which is going to change color later, or not, but yeah, on 5 minutes it did. So that's the re-entry, right? And this is too close, so most likely I'm not targeting this. I am locking here, and if I like this trade, I'm probably targeting something lower, but hey. Okay, never mind that, but that's the concept, that's the idea, right? And so let's remove these lines because we don't need them now. Let's go on 4 hour and let's exit this thing. All right. So we're gonna go through some charts now, and I'm gonna put on some lines and see what's interesting. And let's find some other trades to talk about. Yeah. All right. So since I already checked the weekly levels, I mean, why would they change from day to day? I'm looking now on the daily chart on the different instruments, and I'm just kind of drawing the levels on daily, what's interesting to me. And I think the daily, so we closed higher here. We had some very questionable things happen here. But since price closed lower and went up, so I think this is interesting. This is interesting. We have some level here, and actually, you know what? We got into the gap here, and maybe we can turn and go back up. Who knows? But that would be, yeah. We will see, we will see, because the yen is interesting. Yeah, weekly switch to longs here. That would be something. Maybe later in the year we can reach for this 158. Who knows? Because I mean the yen has been, yeah. Looks to me like there's something to be written here. But hey, also look at the time. So anyway, yeah, we already hit the gap here, and well, if there was strength here from 1 hour, then I have to go to this, and we would have to do this. So this is the move down. Price would have to close above this. 1 hour like this, and I think currently this day, if we close beyond the gap, if we go lower, that only means that we went to the gap. If we close beyond the gap fully, we can't really use it. But there's an exception on the bias chart, which is 1 day in this case. If we close, yeah, like I said, if we close beyond the gap, there's a chance to use the gap again, and this is if price rejects the low of bar close, because that will act like a liquidity sweep on the entry chart. So for this reason, I will make this notification last 2 days, and so we have Wednesday today. This day will pass. This day might pass, but so I will make this last for the 2nd day, and I will this FX instrument is live during this day for me until 1800 hours, and this time coincides with the time when the London and Stuttgart market stops, so lowering the volume. US market is still open. Yen market is not open at this time, or well, it's open, but come on, it's not really active, right? So we have one less participant. So it's US and London crossover time finish, right? If you look at the Forex factory, we'll see this. It's here, 1800. This is the cutoff for that day for me, right? At the same way, 11 here, and we have 9. In I think a week's time, this will shift, but that's not now. Okay, so we're gonna need a notification there, and I may trail this down later on. I'll check this later, but back to the daily, right? So like I said, right, I want to find energy here, and if this bar closes beyond this low of the gap, then the gap would be invalidated and used up, right? So the exception is, like I said, now that we have this chart in front of us, if the next bar goes down and closes back within above this gap and within this bar, of course, then there might be an idea to go higher. That's the reason for that notification. Let's go to the next bar, next chart. So this one, I have an idea of this. Yeah, exactly. This may go up big, because similarly we closed higher here, we swept lows, and we have this gap at the beginning, and this is very clean, right? And I would like for this to go higher, the USD NZD. I don't know why this symbol is like this, because on like three of my other platforms, this symbol is NZD USD. Maybe I just found the wrong one. But it doesn't matter. I'll just go upside down, right? It really doesn't. It's just something to keep in mind. So the USD NZD in favor of the dollar, I think, going long. And if we look at this is the weekly level, I think. So what may happen then, I think here is we had this up, we may go here, here, and eventually here. That's what maybe can happen. Who knows? That's why I have notification here, but I have it on 1 week. Because, right, you see, retracing the gap hit high later this year. That's what I have notification on for the weekly. That's notification there. And we'll see if we hit it. But the weekly, I would enter off the 4 hour anyway, but we're not doing that right now. So we're on the daily now. So daily day levels look fine for now. I'm just gonna put a notification here. 1 day gap level low for longs. And I actually don't know how long I like this for. I'm just gonna give it, that's more than enough time. That is this week and next week. I'm just gonna put this there and leave it. Next chart, Aussie. Okay, we retrace down, and yeah, I would like for this to go higher. I entered long. I was stopped out on a long there yesterday. It was fine. There was 3 red news, and after the news had been deployed, I think like 1 hour later, I entered, and I was stopped out, and I re-entered on another of my accounts, and that smashed the TP really good. But yeah, I would like for this to go to this high up there, and in favor of Aussie right long. The only thing is, when I look at the price lag here, there is no power left to use. Now, there is some power recently created here, just today, because of this new bar. There's a new gap created below us on the daily, right? But there's no power in this leg, and that's what my interpretation, but that's what I see. And what I mean with that is, first of all, down here at 6405, no, 6414, let's say, is the low of the leg, and the high at 6705. In between these levels, there are no gaps on the daily. There is 2 used up gaps, meaning price has already retraced into them and reacted from them. So I count that as used up, and so because of this, there's no power there. Also, if you're looking at the screen here, you can see 2 more up here. Same story. We had gaps, we rejected off them, went higher, but no new gaps. So if we want to go higher, well, we need some sort of power, or second, the exception, right? We can go below the low of a level that created the price leg. So in this case, because we have a double low here down at 6414, we could go below that currently and close higher again. That would mean price would collect energy if this happens below, and that could potentially lead to a move higher, right? Or what I think is more likely, the Aussie could create some power in the coming days, or maybe in a week, for us to use later on to go higher off. Currently, yeah, I don't know about this, but I'm gonna mark it out, and actually no, it doesn't matter because it still is long. No, the leg is long. We have power. Maybe we can use this. I'm gonna put the notification here, and it can live for this week. That's enough. So H1 gap long here. I still think it's kind of weak though. Yeah, we're gonna leave it for Aussie. Is a bit weird. Yeah, I'm gonna end it at dollar end time tomorrow. That's it. So that's good enough. Next, euro, and yeah, euro. Some things happened here. We're gonna remove the things. Yeah, and I want this to go to the high, and this is also weekly level. So there, nice. The thing is though, when the euro on the weekly has been rejecting the high a lot, and already like the same way, right? Used power. Here we had gap, used gap, and go down. This is the latest low. We scrape the low, create new power, so we can now go here to go here. Price can go down to 1711, and later build up to 1918, maybe. We'll see. But we're gonna put notification on there, and then we're gonna. This is on. I did a miss. I must clean this up. I gotta clean this up. Day one. Okay, whatever. I think it's okay. I'm just gonna go back to the Aussie because I realized I made a mistake. Right, it can live this week, and that's it. We gotta go back to the Aussie. Right, it's wrong. So we're on the daily chart. Designation should be day one, and euro. And we are using the same formats everywhere because I am a crazy person like that. D1, same. And yeah, that's pretty much those, right? Because no, we got the pound. We got the pound. We have looking for a short. I think that's not interesting anymore because 4 hours. Let's check the 4 hour quickly. Yes, we made that one. Okay, yeah. That's enough. And price fell down. We collected energy, and yeah, so perhaps we take this, we go down, and then we go back up again. Similar. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna put notification here. We're gonna do one gap low for longs. Yes. Good. I don't expect this to take more than a week. We're gonna do this. The reason I put the end date on the notifications is I have an idea about this in my head, right? Can price reasonably go to this level within this time frame? Right? That's what I'm asking myself. And if I think yes or no, determines what I like, and when the notifications disappear. Because what I will do, for example, after one session or after one day, or maybe in the weekend, I will go into the settings or notifications on TradingView, and I will click that button that says remove the inactive notifications. And I almost always put them on as a one-time use, so they won't activate again, right? Sometimes not though, but yeah, mostly always one time. But so the point is that if we don't get to the level, and notifications shouldn't be sitting there for like 2 months and for me to wonder what happened, because if I do that, yeah, I'm gonna start getting weird notifications, and that's why. So the 8th October 1800. Okay, set it. Boom, message. 1 day gap for low for longs. Good job. All right, we're gonna do CAD. Let's see. Right. If it sometimes is a bit choppy with the recording, it's because I pause it here and there, and maybe I may lose my train of thought, but yeah, no, not this time. So what do we have here? Oh, it's a 1 hour switch for longs. Yeah, that's not valid anymore, right? Or is it? It is actually. However, the dollar CAD is an instrument. It will move during yeah, later New York session. But notice, right? We got the gap. Just to reiterate, the gap was created, and then bar comes into the gap. Perfectly fine. After that, I want to see price action on a faster chart to show long momentum. We didn't get that. And the long is still here. This notification is there from yesterday. Right? Gap has not yet invalidated, but probably will be soon. So I think we're gonna have to look in the 1 hour to see. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. This is the level of strength. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's still the same level. Yeah, doesn't matter now. So I'm outlining, I'm drawing the lines for a few reasons, right? I'm putting the lines on the chart so that I can see what the chart looks like. Because later I want to align the time frames. And I want to pair them in such a way that one fast chart should align with what I think is going to happen on the slower chart. And how can I explain it? It's like, let's say if we build a house out of bricks. If I put one brick down on the floor, nobody's gonna say it's a house. If I build a square of bricks on the floor, people maybe will say, oh, looks like it's a square. Maybe it's a frame. What can this be? Could be something. But at one point in time, with enough bricks put down, you'll start to realize that this could become a house. And zooming out, and if I go in my car and go like a kilometer away from this building to be, if I look, I see like 10 houses being built. I will think, the thing being built is a house, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see on a fast chart what can be created and align it with a slow one. And to do that, I need to start on the slow chart. And so, like I said in the beginning today, so I'm not gonna trade. I'm not trading the London session because of news in the afternoon, right? But I'm still putting the lines on, and the daily chart should be valid for the entire day. So, would be good to put the lines on the daily chart. And if I was trading dollar CAD right now, but it's totally skewed. The time zone is wrong, right? This current moment. Then I would start like on the 4 hour, and I would look and put lines on, and then I would go on the 1 hour and put lines on, and I would have notifications on both of these charts, and whichever of the levels hit tells me where to go. Tells me which fast chart to go for, and which direction to search for, and because of this, I have bias and I have structure and rules. And really, this is the same system I was trading perhaps, I don't know, 2 years ago now, at least 2 years ago. And if I refer to the BST system, is this one. And the only difference now is it is more refined, yes. It is also more subjectively quantifiable. Whereas before, the model was the same. Trades put on could be almost the same, but it was more, well, I should say now it's more objectively quantifiable because, yes, I used the wrong term. You can tell the English is not my main language, right? Anyway, it's now more mechanically easy to see what I want to do. And before it was more, well, I think this is going to go here. And I don't really know why, I just know. And on a side note, on a tangent, man, I've been able to look at these charts for 10 plus years and just go, this is going there. And I don't know why. That's just the way it is. Anyway. And the CAD power has been used up there, and I think because, we're gonna delete this long. Boom. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna put on a notification here. If we get on daily gap longs, boom. We're gonna let this live until the weekend. That's it. We'll see. CAD might become interesting. We'll see. And yeah, we're back to the yen. Levels are pretty cool, and we're looking for longs. I don't care about this, although this is something. Not for my. Not interesting right now. And we're back here. Yeah, I think so. I think that's all the levels I did put on. And now what I can do is I can keep going on and on, but I'm not going to stay for too long here. I'm just gonna go back to my digital log because the paper log is here, but I'm just gonna go for the overview for the BST system, right? So that's the steps, right? 1. Is the instrument in session? And is there any news pending? This is to gauge whether there is strength within the instrument. The instrument being what we're trading. If I trade the euro, the instrument is the euro. If there are news in the euro in 30 minutes into the session, it stands to reason to me that I want to wait for the energy from this, or reaction, or volume, or whatever word you choose to use, and see the reaction there, right? And secondly, I want to find the direction. This is the bias, right? And I often see if there is power or not within the most recent price leg by finding if there is a gap. And price could also go to the edge, go to the order block. It could create a breaker, whatever. But so, if you keep it basic, I try to find the gap, right? Notifications at gap, fine. We get to the gap, let's say. Then I want to go on a faster chart, and I want to see power in the same direction. And the different price action formations displaying power, I can go over it in another video, but I've shown some of them already. And yeah, and then I put the stop around behind where the power was, and also behind where the gap was on the bias chart. Sometimes that means that the stop is a bit larger, but most of the time it's the same as putting the stop just around the recent power level on the fast chart. And then I just try to target the bias chart level, where the bias chart wants to go. And I call it that the liquidity is there because price wants to go there to take it, but I don't know. Can call it whatever we want, right? If I think euro is going to go up, then well, I will try to go up with a fast chart, right? And if I put if I like the price action, I will enter on a market, and I will adjust the size after, right? I have the sizes somewhat adjusted before prices creates the formation, but because it's a market order, it's almost impossible to have it perfect. So it will be somewhat larger and then scaled down, unless it's C-Trader where you can scale up as well. And if I don't like the action, but I like the chart, and this is subjective, there's no I don't have a rule for that. I will set a pending according to model A, which I could do on all trades, really. We'll use model A to enter, which is a rate trace to the level where power was on the fast chart, and the same stop and the same targets, but it leaves a higher RR on every trade where it's used. And I will set this pending with a TTL, time to live, and I would set the end time at the end session time for that instrument. So, and that's really the steps, right? If we go on FX Factory again, or Forex Factory, whatever, these are the sessions. Tokyo, 11, right? Stops at 11. So for the last step, right, to make it perfectly clear, Tokyo, if I trade USD JPY, and if I have a signal during this time, I would let the trade, the pending, stand until 11, because that's when this ends according to Forex Factory. And if I was trading cable, for example, during London session it's 9 until 11, and during New York it's 2 until 18. So I'll just put a pending on and let it live on that until that time. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it does not, and that's all there is to it. And we can talk about intra-chart trailing and other things that we can use can automate on some systems, but that's icing. And well, can be used, not really part of the main structure, right? But it can be used for different reasons, but general, these are the rules. I think that's it. I think I've been talking for way too long, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna wait now until the news. I'm gonna do a lot of different things. I'm gonna wait for the ISM PMI, this news, and we'll see if anything happens. And that leaves 2 hours of the New York session to for something to happen. And yeah, if anything happens, we'll put on some trades, I guess. I think that's it. If you like the video and me talking about random stuff, go ahead and like it. And if you have questions, post your questions. That's it. And I'll see you in the markets.